팀 경기장 도시양.
All right, guys. I just got distracted by that awesome Terran music. I just love that stuff.
Fantastic.
Right. It is our pink Protoss, Vile.State, spawning up in the upper left part of the map, Shakuras Plateau. And his opponent, the reason for the awesome music in the background, is our red Terran player, imbaFXO.BratOK.
You're always a little bit happy whenever Terran music comes on. I'm not saying
know,
you in particular. I'm just saying come on, it's the best music.
Well, it is me in particular, and it is pretty much everybody. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Terran music is just the best. It was the same way in Brood War too.
I busted out the Brood War theme on the piano the other day, so
yeah,
dazzled Doa cool. with my piano playing ability. So
put that on YouTube or something or whatever.
I will have to eventually, yes. So make some sort of a compilation. But anyway,
I wonder if there's going to be new music for Heart of the Swarm.
Oh, I hope so. I mean,
I would think there would be.
Blizzard's intention was to release essentially a 3-part game, right? Like to not think of them as expansions necessarily, but it's basically 3 games is the way that they said it would be. So I would hope that with that you would have completely new music and such
for the multiplayer and all that. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Oh, I can't wait. They need to release a Heart of the Swarm beta already. They just need to do that. I want to start playing this thing, man. I'm tired of reading about it.
Yeah. And there is a custom map right now where you can actually play.
Oh, I have done that.
Such, so
yeah, well, it's like a facsimile of the units.
That's true. That's true.
It's okay.
All right, so looks like BratOK already showing us that he is. Well, I take that back 100%. I was going to say he was going to go for a 1-rank gasless FE, but don't forget, in all of his games yesterday, he went after 15 gas. So I'm going to withhold my judgment until we find out. Could certainly look at that. He's already rallying his next SCV at the geyser. So about to say gasless FE, but no BratOK. It's
actually going to be a 16 gas.
Yeah.
Unless he decides not to make an SCV and do orbital command instead.
Yes,
which
15 gas.
Probably should. Yep.
Yeah, you were saying we need to look at this build. I really think we do, because I want to see how he uses it here. This has been a clever way to approach it. It's incredibly versatile.
If you're going for Tech Lab first, you don't really need the gas quite so early. You've got, you do have a little bit that kind of sits around that you don't need, so that's probably it.
All right, so let's see here what he's going to end up going with. Should time nicely for a Tech Lab worth of gas whenever he finishes up this next Marine. So
yeah, or he just might make 3 Marines and then go into a reactor as well.
Certainly.
Pretty early second gas for Vile.State. We saw him do the DT drop, sort of expand build before on Terminus. Might try to do something kind of similar this time around.
Very possible as well, especially because we do see a Stalker after that. It's not like he's going right into sentries for like a 1-gate sentry expand or anything along those lines. And there's our expansions for BratOK.
Yep, that's right. We'll just be a Tech Lab. I don't know, the Tech Lab, and he's just going to kind of bank some gas, I guess.
Yes, he is. And
let's talk suddenly.
No problem. That's quite all right. Concussive Shell coming up as well now for BratOK, so as he is starting to put out a couple of Marauders, so the same sort of timing attack, and there we have it, guys. That is a Twilight Council, so if he does the same thing he did last time, it's going to be Twilight Council, then Expansion, then he'll fake Blink if his opponent scouts. If not, he'll just go into DTs.
But this
no,
time,
wait!
He's got a Robo.
Yeah. You are correct. All right, so State giving us a little bit different look, but still kind of an unconventional and weird opening.
Yeah, well, this is a good map for Warp Prism Harass. I mean, it's got a wide open part at the top of your base. He is close by air. He knows that. So I could see him going for something like that, I suppose, too.
And we'll find out here in a second. So he does have 2 more. Oh, wait. I think that SCV would have seen the expansion, though, and he doesn't. And we know that it's 3-gate Robo with Twilight Council, so... Okay, well, we'll see if it looks like BratOK already retreating a little bit and throwing up 2 more barracks.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to push that if you think your opponent's on 1 base, because then you're definitely not going to do any damage with that early Marauder pressure. And look at that, it will be DTs. Okay, yep, so DT drop coming up for Vile.State, but this time it's a little bit different. He's not expanding. This is more of an all-in from him, so
yeah, it is.
It's going to really have to work. Now, does BratOK have an engineering bay? That's kind of the big question right now.
He does not.
No.
So we'll see if he decides to go, because if he goes the add-on upgrade routes, which we already see add-on, so it could be an engineering bay next, but if he decides to go the medevac routes, then that's going to be not so good for him, because that engineering bay is going to take forever, but boom, there it is.
Yep, engineering bay. So, it's going to be tough to say. Those DTs, I think, are going to get there right before the turrets finish. So he's going to have to save some scans. Now, any good Terran in this particular case would save a scan or two on the off chance it would be some DT aggression. And, that would be, like, in a couple seconds you would kind of save. You'd save some of the 50 energy that'll have in a moment.
Agreed. Definitely agreed.
Expand from state. Okay, it's just going to expand late.
Yeah, so it's just a late DT expand. He's going to start. The Warp Prism is going to move over there basically as soon as the Dark Shrine finishes up. It's only 3 seconds away now. And he's going to be able to drop his way into the main. The missile turret's coming up at the front, though. There's not one at the back.
Yep, he's protected against DT's wall camp his ramp, but not DT's in his base. And, oh no, the supply depot sees it right away. And he's going to see the Shimmer, of course, too. He's going to know that the DTs are coming in there.
Yes, he is. And look at that. Scan number 1 goes down. This DT making its way down to the bottom right and gets caught by concussive shells and cleared up with the missile turret. Very nice defense by BratOK.
Yeah, that didn't go well at all. He did get the Warp Prism away at least, but those DTs did absolutely nothing.
That is true. All right, so let's see here. BratOK is still on fine economy. It looks like there is one DT sitting somewhere. Being dropped in one more time. State going to make his way back up into the middle line and see if he can kill any units there. Actually choosing to go after a supply depot first to force another scan.
Yeah, and he might actually get this depot because BratOK's not really responding very quickly. That's awkward.
Yeah, it was. He will get it now, though. And moving down once again, I think he's just outside of the scan range of the missile turret as well. Going to force the scan out of BratOK. There it is. Yep, DT gets cleaned up.
Oh, the Dark Templars sound so pathetic when they die.
Whoa, I'm going to be a stalker now. Why are there so many stalkers and so few of us? I don't know. I figure that's what they always say whenever they die.
Oh, that's true. That's true. There never are a lot of Dark Templars, but there's tons of stalkers.
And stalkers are DTs. Were DTs in a former life. So
it's like DT heads put on metal bodies, basically.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yes.
Maybe they just give an option to a DT. They're like, well, we're going to drop you into Terran base, and you're probably going to die right away. So do you just want to become a stalker anyway? Like, just straight away? They're like, okay.
I guess so.
But then they lose their cool cloaking ability. That's no fun. All right, couple of preemptive. Force fields down for State, no real surprise there, but he is being forced into photon cannons right now. It's 300 mineral dump that he does not want to spend on anything but units, but is forced to because, well, BratOK's right outside of his base with a force that would just obliterate him.
Yeah, when you tech aggressively like that and don't do any damage with it, you need to be ready to defend a push with less than you would want to have normally. Oh, nice little trap there.
Yeah, gets a few units there, 2 Marines and a Marauder.
Yep.
Now, let's see that. Warp Prism was still hanging back over at the top right-hand corner of BratOK's base, so it is still a possibility of a threat. I'm a little surprised that we don't see a supply depot off to the right just to watch for it, because BratOK was watching the left side of his base for just such an eventuality.
Yeah, that Warp Prism might come in a little bit handy later on. I mean, if it gets to a late-game situation and he's got the money, you know, he can just warp in 4 DTs or something like that, target down the turret, and start to do some damage. But for now, it's just a threat.
Okay, so let's see here now as we have 5 gateways and a mess of tech. Not really anything being produced out of the robo still. I'm sure there's an observer sitting somewhere, but I'm not sure. No, actually no observer yet. Interesting. All right, and BratOK is going to open up the destructible rocks here because he is starting to create some medevacs, so we will be able to ferry units into the high ground here, which would be very powerful.
Yeah, Ghosts as well. He's going to be doing a lot of teching here on 2 bases, a lot of big expensive units as he takes his 3rd. And yeah, I like this idea with a high Templar drop. Storm did finish now, so he could conceivably kill some SCVs if he's careful.
Yes, he can, and those are fairly well bunched up. He should be able to get a bunch. So here we go. There's the Templar dropping down. Any units inside of the main? No, not really. And actually, very nice reaction time out of BratOK, and only a couple of workers have fallen for him this entire game. He's actually killed more than his opponent.
Yeah, he didn't really lose much of anything there.
All right.
Oh, I like this by BratOK, too. Just constantly scouting that 3rd. He wants to know exactly when his opponent takes it.
And let's see here, as most of the units have retreated back into the main at the moment, but he should be able to make a pretty powerful push here soon. Looks like that's going to coincide nicely with a drop. All right, 3 more gateways now coming up. I'm sorry, 2 more gateways and a photon cannon coming up for State. Of course, a single photon cannon with a Templar sitting there is usually enough to ward off a drop for long enough that you can get your units in position.
We'll see. Here comes the drop from BratOK. He's going to try to do it, but like you said, I mean, there's quite a bit there for State right now. I mean, unless he moves the units in his main out of his main, it's going to be tough for BratOK to do any damage. Oh, I like, though, that he's kind of going around the outside.
Oh, and these freshly placed pylons are actually going to prevent Zealots from making their way up to do damage to this drop. So, actually going to make their way over on the right-hand side, picking off the Twilight Council would be really big before charge finishes.
Yeah, and the best part is that he's got another attack moving into the natural. Oh, is he going to get before charge? Of course he is.
So good.
And now the push down at the natural coming in for BratOK as well. Oh, it's going to be a rough spot for State.
Yeah, it really is. And he cleans up the Templar before they're able to drop out their storms, feedbacks, anything. The Dark Shrine is going to go down as well. BratOK moving right up the front. A couple of force fields have fallen, but it's not enough to stop the bio units from killing the photon cannons. Yep. And this is looking worse and worse now for State. It looks like he is actually counter-dropping his opponent, dropping down some Zealots and a couple of Templar as well. That Archon is now a master, 15 kills on it.
Master Archon, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think BratOK's got this one. He's done so much damage, and you know, State, he just wasn't able to produce units to defend something like this after going for that aggressive tech opening that didn't do a lot.
Right, and now the workers killed is starting to go up for BratOK. Going to match his opponent here in just a second. State knows that he is lost, and there it is.